Hello everyone, this is StrawberryShorty here with what I have come to call my Shorty Spotlight series. And the game for today is going to be another one of my favorite games, Shadow of Destiny for PlayStation 2. It also got a PSP port. I don't know how much we'll talk about that one. I like the original better. PSP port has different voices and like a few different ending images that are done like in an anime style. I like the parchment animation style and drawing style that they do for those in the original, but anyway, so this game is hard to describe in terms of genre. It's often mistakenly put on lists of like horror games you've never heard of. It's not a horror game. It's not even remotely a horror game. I'd call it more like either an adventure game or like if a visual novel had actual gameplay where you like move around. Like the game is 99% story. In terms of like there's not really much in the way of puzzles. It's mostly just figuring out what to do and when. So the setup is it takes place in a German town in 2001, and you play as a mysterious young man named Ike Kush. And he gets murdered right at the beginning of the game. And he wakes up in a strange space where a mysterious being gives him a device called a digipad, which is not in any way connected to Digimon. It has a really weird name. But the name in the remake port is Z-pad, which really makes even less sense. So anyway, he gets sent back in time and has to try and find a way to prevent his own death. And it's a very easy first puzzle, but there's a lot to explore, a lot of characters you can talk to. You can potentially get a game over if you interact with yourself and erase yourself from existence. But it's basically something is out to kill you and they will not stop. And you repeatedly have to go back in time to try and not only prevent your own death, but also figure out what the heck is going on. Why does someone want you dead? And I love this game. It's so charming. It's got a really good story. Some people are confused by it, but I really like it. And the characters are mostly pretty interesting. And I like all the little things you can do. Like there's a few like little side quests, at least one really big side quest you can do where you can seriously alter the sequence of someone's life. But like just oh my gosh, these keep ending up devolving into me just rambling about how much I love the game, because it's hard to say too much about this, you know, because most of the stuff I'd want to say falls under spoilers. But like you get to see this town in different time periods. Like you got like the Middle Ages time period, which is like in sepia. You have you have a time period that's like nearly 100 years ago and it's all in black and white, and then you have like a time period that's just like 20 years ago, which is more in color. And you meet people that are interesting in all these timelines, and they kind of connect to the current timeline, and there's a bunch of different endings that you can get depending on, well, there's one choice you make partway through the game that affects which endings you can get, and then the ending itself will be determined by what you do in like the last chapter. If I did have any complaints, I would say that the last chapter changes the rules, but doesn't tell you how. Like, because the way this game works is that when you go back to the past, time in the present is still moving, and it's getting closer and closer to your time of death. If you reach the time of death in the present, you just die again and get resurrected. If you reach your time of death in the past, you like glitch from existence and you get a game over. In the last chapter, if you reach the time of death, that's it. You get a game over. And you don't realize this is going to happen. It's also worth noting that the way time passes in this game is that basically whenever you talk to someone, whenever you get a cutscene, it'll be like, oh, you spoke to NPC, 30 seconds passed, and that gets added to the time. Or like if you get a really long cutscene, like several minutes may pass. So you don't always necessarily know what you're getting into, and you might accidentally kick yourself over the time of death if you're not careful. In the PS2 version, the game only saves at the end of each chapter. And that's not necessarily a terrible thing, because one of the big problems with the PSP port is that they make it so that you can save whenever, but if you save during chapter 8 and you don't have enough time left to complete it, you're basically locked into a game over and will have to like restart. And that's not fun. I think I had some issue with saving, with another save issue that I don't quite recall the PSP version, but just overwhelmingly, I would say the PS2 version is better. Some people don't like the vocal performances. I like them a lot. I especially like, there's a character that's actually voiced by Mario's voice actor. That's my favorite character. His name is Homunculus. He's on the front of the box. I actually picked this game up at a like small game CD store. Just randomly came across it and convinced my parents to buy it for me. One of my parents, I don't remember which one, and just have never regretted it, because this game is fantastic. But so yeah, this is a great game. It's small and simple, but it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to discover and explore. And if you're a fan of similar games, like in terms of theme with like Ghost Trick and whatnot, you might want to check this out. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!